And so now when that huge amount of chaos is just simply all on you, then you can just simply derive meaning from that, and you can understand the different pieces, because guess what? Now you are coming from this place of silence. Now you just now you have the capacity to actually embrace all those things. But if you're always distracted, and if you're always consuming and never really embracing and reproducing in your reality what you've been putting in. So for example, you're reading a book, right? So you're about to lose weight and you're reading a book, and after a week you're like at the same fucking place. So you're reading this book about productivity or gym or whatever that might be. The point is that you just simply want to lose weight, and you're just simply looking for an action book. And after you've been reading that book, you're like, man, this book just simply doesn't make any, you've been reading that book, you are feeling good about yourself, you have all these big plans, and you're just simply doing zero freaking action. So what you do, you read another book. What you do after that, zero action, and so on and so forth. And so the problem over here is that when we are just simply getting into this rut, when we are just simply bringing in this chaos, and just never putting out there our order, never creating anything out of that thing. And so this is what monk mode has really taught to me, that man, you really have to embrace all the things that you have currently and seek out the chaos consciously. I mean, as consciously as you can, because guess what? If you're all the time, if you're just like overloading your freaking brain, if you're just simply overloading your freaking brain, then what will actually happen is that you will just simply end up at a place where you're just like new information all the time, like undecisive, and you'll just simply end up not taking action because you just simply have so many unmade decisions. You just simply have so many parts that are just hanging somewhere around in the air that you're just like too much on the ground of chaos. And so basically this is why I've done this 1 year of monk mode, because no matter what, brother, I just simply had one stable point: I'm doing this shit. And so now, again, the greatest skill out of it is that I just simply learned how to make the differentiation between order and chaos. And how can I make my decisions for myself? How can I think for myself? And so on and so forth. And so what I just simply wanted to tell to you, brothers, is that now that I'm looking out of this monk mode, I just simply got to realize that I just simply have so freaking many opportunities. I just simply have so freaking many opportunities, and I've been just simply losing so much time. And this thing just really made me feel anxious. And I was like, man, like, what the freaking hell was I been losing my, time with? Like, there are these guys, like, perhaps even younger than me, and they're like making, like a ton of money with like ridiculous way more, perhaps in the same field, but on a different market, and it's like ridiculous amounts of money, like compared to the age. And I was like, man, like I'm just fucking missing something. And so at the end of the day, I was like, man, you're just controlling yourself on the level of your mind. You're just simply controlling yourself, because you can make $1 million a month, brother. You can make $1 million a month. It just simply depends on the actual value that you're able to put out there in the marketplace, which actually 120% correlated with the output that you can do out there, the output that you can just simply put out there, the problems, the magnitude or the volume of the problems that you can solve. And so that's it, brother. And so this is a mindset again. It's like how you cannot. So for example, my muscles didn't really improve throughout the last year. I mean, like, compared to me working out every single day, my muscles didn't really improve, because this was my mindset. And I wasn't really concentrating on my muscles. I was concentrating on my stamina. But I do think that if I would have been concentrating on my muscles, then my muscles would have been growing. And so this is also the mindset, like where we are putting our attentions to. And so, brothers, I really needed to share this piece with you, because concentration and mind and what we do have inside of ourselves is completely determined of is the complete determinant of our reality and how we see things. And another thing with books, so for example, I just simply had this limiting belief throughout the 1 year that I've been growing inside of myself, that reading too much books will just simply blow me up, because I will just simply get to a place where I will be distracted by the books. But on the other hand, what I've got to realize, which was the most rational, so basically I was, journaling how I feel, how I think, and so on and so forth. And so what I've got to realize is that every single time when I'm reading, meditating, and working out the trial that I've been talking about so many times, is that my mind just simply works better. I'm happier. My thoughts are flowing, and not in a destructive way, but it's in a proper way. And I just simply see the big freaking picture, And so what I've got to understand is that reading makes me even better. Also, on the other hand, I got this truth that reading one book a week is like too much. Unless if you are reading that, if you have this capacity to read that book and really implement that. But so, for example, if you're reading a book like Thinking Fast and Slow, you're reading a book like that a week, it's like, man, like not an easy subject. And it's like, not an easy subject. It's like, you have to really tear those things, down, and like really have to come up with examples. And this is, by the way, how I read. It's like I'm reading rather less, and like tearing everything apart, and I'm just simply going through all the ideas that I have, so therefore I can really embrace that knowledge, and also try to find some actionable points over here, over there. So up until the point that those books are not in one topic and doesn't have very much repetitive content, then I'll be telling you that will be too much. It's like that will be too much. That will be too much. At least if you're an entrepreneur, it's like too much information to process, too much information. It's like, if you're an entrepreneur, your main focus is to find the best working processes and not to iterate them. That's it. It's like, find the best working processes and scale that shit. That's what business is. It's like, figure out the processes and scale the processes. That's it. Like, period. So brothers, everything is up inside our head. So lots of love, little bit of background to my monk mode, and hope this mindset, not necessarily helps, but gives you some kind of a perspective of how sometimes how much flooded we are regarding to our thinking. Love.